So as we know, Resident Evil 4 is a game known for taking a more action-focused approach, with less emphasis on horror, but it looks like the Resident Evil 4 remake will be doing the opposite. Fanbyte sources claim that the remake will take a scarier approach, with the 3 early versions of Resident Evil 4 serving as inspiration for the rumored remake. So in this video, I will be going over my overall thoughts on how they can make the remake darker than its predecessor. But before we start, if you are new here and end up enjoying the video, then make sure to subscribe for more Resident Evil content like this. Also, make sure to let me know in the comments below some of your own ideas for making the remake scarier. With that all out of the way, let's get right into the video.
Resident Evil 4.
So the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that Capcom could be using elements from 3.5. For those who don't know, Resident Evil 3.5 was a more psychological game with hallucinatory enemies. This version of the game is based around a complicated mechanic where 2 versions of a room would load each time, one in the real world and one in the hallucination world containing the enemies. By choosing this mechanic, the player would instantly cross between the worlds when crossing a checkpoint without having an additional loading sequence. This build is most well known in the Resident Evil community, with it featuring unique enemies like possessed dolls and the well-known Hookman. And after hearing your guys' comments, it seems like a lot of people would like to see the Hookman added in the remake. Now I think he would be most fitting in the castle sequence of the game. I would like to see him appear in the Ashley sequence of the game when she goes into the dark room. When Ashley goes down there and takes the Salazar family insignia, the Hookman could awaken from a curse and chase Ashley all the way back to Leon. From here, the Hookman could appear from time to time and attack Leon. With that, I would like to see the castle expanded on and include the other areas of the castle, like the kitchen and the sleeping quarters. This is exactly where the Hookman would attack Leon, in cramped, isolated areas like this, so it would be harder to avoid him. I would also love to see possessed dolls in there as well. These could be in the children's rooms and attack Leon upon entering. I mean, in all honesty, I think we could definitely expect this, for the sole reason that Leon is infected with the Las Plagas throughout the story, causing him to have hallucinations, as we saw in the village chapter after defeating Del Lago. Now another thing that can make a huge difference on how scary this game could be is with character models. I would really like to see some scary and disturbing mutations inflicted on the enemies from the Plagas, similar to what it did with Krauser. Also, they have a huge opportunity here with the Regenerators. The Regenerators in the original game were chilling, but if we are going off looks, they were not scary at all in my opinion. I truly think Capcom has the possibility to make the island sequence so much scarier by updating the Regenerator character models and also by adding a few other disturbing experimented creatures on the island. And then looking at Dr. Salvador, he's another enemy that truly had the possibility to be menacing, but sadly wasn't the case because of the character model. I think it would be better if they gave the chainsaw character model from Waterworld to Dr. Salvador. With this, he would be a lot bigger than Leon and a lot more aggressive. With all this said, looking at how the game's graphics have improved tremendously over the years, I believe Capcom will make some pretty sickening character models after seeing the amazing work they did with the enemies in Resident Evil 8. The next thing they could do is incorporate elements from Resident Evil 7. Anyone who has played Resident Evil 7 knows that that is easily one of the scariest games of all time, so why not take a little bit of inspiration from it when remaking Resident Evil 4? Include some jump scares, include some suspense, and add the creepy atmosphere. Luckily, new leaks have suggested that the game will start at night when Leon arrives. In my opinion, this is definitely a step in the right direction, giving this remake opportunities to check off the 3 things I just mentioned. And the last thing I want to mention is Stalker Roles. Now I know a lot of people are kind of sick of the Stalker Roles, seeing that they have been included in the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes, but in my opinion, these roles are a great way to build suspense and always keep you on the edge of your seat. Now if you really think about it, they have opportunities for all 3 locations, the village being Dr. Salvador, the castle being the Vertigo or Garrador, and the island could be the guy with the minigun or even Jack Krauser. And there you have it, those are some of my ideas on how Capcom could make the story darker than the original. I want to see more thrill in this remake, but hopefully they pack it with a lot of action as well, as this is what made Resident Evil 4 the game it is today. But anyways, now I would like to hear your thoughts. Make sure to drop your own ideas for this topic in the comments below. That's going to be it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Peace.